GME has let us down once again. Sometimes you gotta take a step back and remind yourself that you're fighting against a corrupt system, corrupt bastards who will eventually get their karma. Once again, we see more corruption in GameStop stock as that sell-off was not real. First of all, short exempt volume was 460,000 in a single day on September 11th. Now, the normal short exempts that we see for GameStop is around 15,000. First of all, there shouldn't be any every single day on any given stock. There shouldn't be failed to delivers on any given stock as much as there is on AMC and GameStop. But let alone 460,000 is a chunk of the float. It's not just a chunk of the float, it's a huge chunk of the volume that was traded. You see, short percentage was only 36%, yet we saw such a high amount of short exempt volume. The previous day was around 43%, about 7% more, and was only at 38,000 short exempt volume. So tons of volume are routed to dark pools, barely on lit exchanges, and then what is on lit exchanges, a large part of it is short percentage. So we saw such a small amount percentage wise on lit exchange that was by volume, and GameStop obviously tanked based on all of these factors. Now make sure to like the video, we got to cover a lot more. AMC, why don't they want this thing to go up this week and next week? I can tell you why. It's because quad witching week is next week, which is where quarterly options expire in or out of the money. In the money may cause a gamma squeeze for AMC, for GameStop, for short squeeze plays as a whole. You can see right here over 200,000 call contracts expiring for AMC next Friday. Now, something that just got loaded up once again, GameStop $40 calls for January 17th. 600 came through at the ask. Average fill at $1.63, $100,000 in premium. With a strike price of $40, that's giving a lot of time for GameStop to hit that price target with a whale purchasing $100,000 worth of call options. So are we up from here? Before we get into the charts, a couple quick things. First of all, the SEC has finally calendared the Reg NMS rule changes. The final rule will be proposed and voted on next Wednesday, September 18th, 10 a.m. Shout out to Dave Lauer over at We the Investors, have been fighting for retail investors. Now look at the date. This is also when FOMC rate cuts are coming out. September 18th is going to cause a massive turn of events for the market and tell us where the trend is going. It also is a massive money-making opportunity, and we're going to touch on the SPY a little bit later. Also, Wall Street financial analysts lowered GameStop's price target to $10 a share, okay, over on Wedbush. This was from $11. Now, why is this nowhere near accurate, even from a fundamental perspective, even if you weren't looking at this as a short squeeze play? Well, at $10 a share, the company would be approximately worth about $4.46 billion. I did not double check these calculations, but I'm pretty sure they're accurate. GameStop has $4.2 billion in cash on hand with no debt and no credit agreements. Now, that is not including the funds raised from their current 20 million share offering. So GameStop has been profitable the past 2 quarters in a row in the last fiscal year. So a profitable company with no debt, no loans, and has $4.2 billion in cash on hand is only worth $4.46? No, it doesn't make any sense. So don't pay attention to these price targets. They're just trying to give it a reason to continue to drag it down. Now, GameStop is down 2.23%, trading at $20.18. I'm going to show you a couple of things. First of all, we had this cycle that was supposed to play out, and we played out this part of the cycle inverse. If the entire cycle played out inverse, which a lot of times it doesn't, it could just have been that point of interest pushing it down. This is what you could see happen with GameStop. First of all, we already hit around 1950. You come up, you hit around 21.25, come back down to around 18 bucks. Back up 21.75, 16 bucks, 20 bucks, 13, and then finally $22.30 or $20.32, whatever you want to call that midline. That is what GameStop would do, and then essentially fall from there. That's if this entire thing is over, if this entire cycle plays out inverse, if there's no catalyst, if there's no algorithm break, if there's no market crash and short squeeze plays take off. Okay, this is the worst bearish case scenario that I have drawn out, and I will prep you for. Do I think that is going to happen? No, I really don't expect that to happen. There's way too many eyes on GameStop. We're finally getting some volume picking up after the past 3 years. Roaring Kitty is still here, and people are just watching GameStop, AMC, Chewy, and these other squeeze plays that we're going to get into in 1 second. On top of that, GameStop is at the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, and when it comes to the very bottom of the Bollinger Band, it is not likely to stay down here too long. If we get a push lower for 1, 2, 3 more days, I think that will be it, and that will be a sign for a reversal because GameStop is heavily oversold in my opinion. AMC 494, really sideways. Nobody likes this. It's barcoding. There's no volume, ton of volume going to dark pools. Unfortunately, this is where we stand, okay? There's not much happening with AMC. Unfortunately. Fortunately enough, it has not been crashing like GameStop. So I guess that is the brighter way to look at it. But until we see some volume come in and us stop barcoding, I'm not going to touch on it like crazy. COS up 10% basically on the day, trading at $7.30. I said that this week could be a week for COS to explode higher, and I stand by that. COS could come all the way up to $9 off of this move because it's at the bottom of this flag. Could come to the top of this flag around $9. That's what I see happening with COS, and potentially even get a second breakout to move higher. Overall, watch to see volume follow through, as well as Holo. Everything is coming into fruition with Holo. We said this is something that could happen, come down, bounce up, come down, a little bit of bounce, come down again. We got this exact pattern forming, and Holo could be flushing to its new low right now as we speak, which in my opinion is going to be between 10 and 20 cents before that move higher. You kind of just want to set alerts and be out of this, in my personal opinion. Nothing I say is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but setting alerts for any sudden moves up. That way you can watch it and see if the time is here. Now I want to touch on the SPY. Look at this candle that we're getting today. We are fighting this level so hard at 555, and based on the double top the SPY has, it coming up to this neckline, you could see a mass rejection here on the SPY and come all the way back down to 530, 570, and that's going to be a quick move, maybe in a day or two. Then you come up to 544.75, and then you flush lower down to 525. This is bear case scenario. Obviously, if we just can't hold right here, watch for 1 day maybe to come down, retest this trend line and see what we can do at about 546 to see if we can move higher and break above that neckline. If you can open and close above 555.50 tomorrow, the SPY is going to look bullish, but right now it does not look too bullish. On top of that, if you take a step back and look at it from the weekly time frame, when it comes up and tests this neckline and can't get a break over, it's likely to start falling a little bit shorter. You had a bearish engulfing on the weekly, and now you're trading in the full body candle, which could be bullish depending on what happens next week with the FOMC. These patterns, these charts can easily fake us out based on the catalyst that we have going forward. As far as TMF goes, we're trading almost at $62. We came all the way up to 64, nearly 65, which is what we called out, and 67, 65, 67. Will TMF go higher? Well, if it's a 0.25, maybe this thing sells off and starts scaling up a little bit slower, just like you saw back here. And it has the same pattern forming with TMF. If it's a 0.5, this thing is going to go right to the moon and through the roof. Is that something that we're going to see? Maybe, maybe not. Now, before we talk about Tesla, Nvidia, and Bitcoin and some other things to close out the video, I want to tell you really quick to go get your 15 free stocks by pressing my link in the description and opening a Mumu account and making a deposit into there. It's free. Go deposit $1 into your account. Start earning free stocks. Hold those stocks, sell those stocks, whatever you want to do with them. I can't tell you what to do with them. But Mumu's also giving you 8.1% APY on your uninvested cash with no risk, keeping your money insured, letting you trade options in there, go short and long other stocks, a customizable earnings calendar, view other exchanges, and more. Crazy tools, all for free. Open an account through my link and make a deposit. Okay, Tesla really quick, 228.40. Tesla's looking actually really good, and they have some catalysts coming up. If we get some positive news on Tesla, watch for a move up to 255. Now this positive catalyst alongside potentially rate cuts, if rate cuts get cut 0.5, expect to move back up to 295 on Tesla, nearly 300. Bear case scenario, Upcoming catalysts aren't good. You close under 226, you come back down to 183.50. Nvidia looking very, very good. Broke above 111, actually smashed above that, came back into this channel. Nasty V-shaped recovery, now fighting for its life at 118. If we close above 118, which is likely to be the case, watch for a break and close above 122. That is the next level I'm watching, and that I would consider the quote-unquote neckline for Nvidia, if not 130. Last but not least, Bitcoin taking a step back as the market looks as a whole a little bit bearish. Bitcoin actually looks pretty bullish if you take a look at it from a huge perspective. You can see that Bitcoin has a mass cup and handle, which essentially points us to the upside, and this length of consolidation is prepping Bitcoin for probably one of the largest moves it has had to straight up or a nasty flush down. So I'm just excited to keep an eye on Bitcoin. Overall, get ready for potentially some fire sales. Also, last but not least, gold breaks new record high at $2,542 per ounce. An accounting giant, PwC, to lay off around 2,000 employees in the US, which is its first layoff since 2009 financial crisis. Overall, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. Don't forget to get in the Discord. It is the third link in the description. It's only a coffee a month. We have options trading alerts in there. I post my trades as soon as I take them. I'm in there on the daily. We talk stocks and crypto. Come join the family, guys. It'll be way better if all of my YouTube gang gets in the big group chat so I can chit chat with you guys and we can make money together. Make sure to go get your free stocks with Mumu. Download my custom indicator and add it to your TradingView charts. You can get 14 days for free. It is pattern detection and forecasting. Overall, guys, that is it. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.